goodness gracious, here we go again. Here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. We have an Ark of Osiris cast coming up in about 10 minutes or so. And this is none other than 374 against SNO. What's up, everybody? How is everyone doing? Let's see. Hey, Janam and Juichiro to the bang. Hey, MC and Persian Rummy. Hi, how's it going? What do you think of the new Archer commanders? Cyrus looks OP. I haven't seen anything about the new commanders. I've seen people leaking information and all that. I mean, everything gets leaked and nothing arrives, and you know, I like to wait till the actual commanders come out instead of speculating ahead of time on things that we don't know whether they're true or not. The new commanders, I don't know. I haven't looked at them yet. I know where the leaks are coming from. I know what the website is. It comes a little bit from the Chinese version, a little bit from all over the place. I'm not looking into it until it comes out in our servers and we can properly review them, because maybe things will change, maybe not. I don't know. I'd love to see new Archer commanders that are good. Obviously, this account is an Archer commander account on top of being a Garrison commander. Yes, you can see right here we're missing the bottom due to the tablet streaming. Honestly, I kind of like it like this. I might leave it like this in general, because if we stream from the tablet like this and you're missing just the bottom, which is not a big deal, right? It's blocking the chat, which is perfect. You don't see the menu, but how much do you need to see the menu, really? When I open things, you don't miss out on anything. 99% of things are still showing. What you're not seeing, I'll show you what you're not seeing. What you're not seeing is literally like, oh, not that. What you're not seeing is that whiteness. Like, this doesn't block you from seeing absolutely anything. If you go into the commanders tab, you still get to see everything. In here, you barely get a little bit of that taken out, but that's it. Other than that, everything else shows. So I might kind of continue streaming like this in the future, change up things, work with a tablet. Although the quality on the tablet compared to the PC is a little bit different, because there I have a much better graphics card, like you can see right there. That kind of is something that is caused by the tablet, but and the capture card. But I kind of dig streaming like this, and when it comes to war and stuff like that, I feel like you guys are gonna get a better viewing experience out of the tablet. So you may see me going more into the tablet in the near future. The hype is real. I agree, Jedi. How are you doing? Well, let's see what else we got. Manua, I haven't seen you in a very long time, my friend. I hope all is good. How are things in 256? How are things in 256? You know, at some point it was like, maybe we'll migrate to 256. 256 was an option at some point in time. I don't know why it never happened, but I did think for a little while if I should contact you guys, see what's going on in 256 when I was gonna leave Kingdom 59. And then ultimately 401 seemed to be the better choice for me, just because I knew a lot of people that were going into 401. But yeah, 256. I miss you guys. It was a fun KVK, although whatever happened there was kind of messed up and all that stuff and all that. Now that I'm not in JWM, I can agree with you and be like, hey, that was a kind of a messed up KVK. But it is what it is. PC is so laggy, cover the fighting on tab. Definitely, Sammy. I think that's definitely what's going to happen. We're going to cover the casts and wars on this. Preparing for KVK. Nice, dude. That's sick. Yeah, we'll be casting today 2 teams. Very important 2 teams. Snow, one of the, in my opinion, a very, very awesome underdog that is rightfully so in here. They've been fighting really hard for a very long time, and they now are in the semifinals. They are going up a 2.9 billion power alliance. When the calculation happened, they're probably bigger than that. Juan, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the Gecko Gaming community. We need to find a name for us still. And against them goes up 374. Now, 374 have a lot of folks from my old team in JWM2. So I am a little slightly biased towards them because I know some of them, and I would be really, really happy to see my friends and ex-members make it to the finals and potentially win an Osiris League. It would be hilarious if half of you JWM2 win this season's Osiris League. It would actually be fairly funny. You recruited a lot of new fighters. That's awesome. Dechi's Kingdom is getting wrecked in Eve of the Crusade. Eve of the Crusade is not a big deal. The quicker you learn Eve of the Crusade is not a big deal, the better you are, because it's just a waste, Eve of the Crusade. But whatever. People like doing pre-KVK. We're looking right now at the situation. Rose got beaten by OV. We casted that on the official Rise of Kingdoms channel. That match was very rough. Unfortunate for Rose. GG's to them. It was a really, really good fight. They just got outplayed, and they tried to beat OV, where OV are the strongest, and they just couldn't do it. And when that happened, everything just got swept along the way. But I definitely think Rose have an opportunity to win an Osiris League sooner rather than later. And a top 4 placement after being last season like the dark horse that we didn't know anything about. I mean, that's enough respect goes to those folks. Enough respect has to go to those folks, honestly. With that being said, oh my goodness gracious. Did we? We did. We were doing it right now. Shadow Legion on the Jumper account. It just ended and I wasn't paying attention. But thankfully, our Jumper account survived. It survived all waves, which is really, really nice. We got ourselves some sweet, sweet rewards, which we really needed. And yeah, 60 million power account with about, let's see, 1.5 million tier 5 calves and like no infantries because they're all in the hospital. 500k T4 calves, 500k T4 archers is enough to hold a level 25, which is awesome. I'm super hyped for this, Titch. I think that this is going to be a great match. Let's go see. We got 2 minutes until it happens. And so right now we're just waiting for folks to slowly trickle in. There's a bunch of streams happening at the same time. I hope that most of you will bring your alliance mates to this stream because you guys know when we start shoutcasting, I don't think there's anyone in the business right now that can shoutcast as quickly and as crazily as I have been doing this season. And I hope you guys, I'm thankful for those of you who picked to watch this. SNO will be the champions. We'll see. We'll see. Honestly, all 4 teams can win this. Well, Rose can't win it anymore. But up until this morning, all 4 teams could have won it. And now all 3 teams can win it. And absolutely. I don't think OV are anywhere near at the end of it. I don't think Snow are anywhere near at the tail end of it. I think all of them have an opportunity to make this a crazy, crazy, crazy season for them. And so, yeah, I don't know. We're taking a quick peek around to see what's good. And by the looks of it, I mean, we're looking at a matchup in here of a 3.3 billion power alliance compared to a 2.9 billion power alliance. Things are just heating up and getting themselves up there. Other than that, what else can be said? We just wait it out, and we hope and pray for a good match, honestly. We hope and pray for a good match. I really hope this is a close match. I am a little bit rooting for my friends in 374, but nonetheless, I definitely want to see SNO also win. If either of them win, I think it's a fantastic thing. It's an awesome feeling to see a team that hasn't been in the playoffs yet make it to the playoffs. So OV have been to the finals. At this stage, we're going to have one team on the finals that have never been in the finals before. And that's super exciting because it means that this is not just the old guards game. This is newer kingdoms. We're talking 374. They're not this old kingdom. They're not young kingdoms, but they're not the 59, the 30, the 52, the 177. 374 is a fairly young kingdom, all in all compared. They're older, sure, but I mean, they're in the triple digits compared to the double digits of previous seasons. So I'm in love with this. I think it'll be awesome to see a great final regardless, SNO or 374. It makes me want to play more Ark and Osiris League and get better and better. Let's see what you guys said. 374 beat OV before in Osiris League. They put the talent coins on. I put my talent coins on them. Sammy, I think that you're going to see a different OV. OV might have come in a little bit cocky, a little bit, we're just going to clean it up, and next thing you know, they got caught with their pants down. I don't think OV are going to get caught with their pants down as severely as they did before, but hey, 374 might actually make it and have a great shot at it. Let's get really quickly our backup camera in the match as well, and then we start our shoutcast, ladies and gentlemen, as we have arrived onto the Osiris field, and we got to get our backup camera set up and ready to rock and roll for y'all. You know what I'm saying? On this channel, no downtime, as much as we can at least. And as we enter the Temple of Osiris, take a breath. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Osiris League semifinal number 2 of the day. We're looking at SNO against Kingdom 374, K374 on the field. Folks have started teleporting in. There's a little bit of loading issues, but hey, look at these guys right here. We're talking 374 teleporting in their last few folks. If I'm not mistaken, that's 4th row, so they should be good to go. SNO are slowly taking their time to get the teleport order correctly. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a top tier team. You know, they have 2 minutes that they can slowly get their teleports in, slowly make sure the right people are placed in the right first row. This guy right here and that guy right there, Nameless God, were going to be teleported in the same spots regardless, so they could have come in a little bit early. But getting their people to teleport one at a time, make sure they're in, make sure they're well positioned, is how you get that early advantage. All of these guys should be rally leaders, rally fillers, quick marches, and people who we need coming out of the gate really quickly. One more thing you should know about a quick strategy when it comes to teleporting. Most folks put their rally leaders at the front, and then the rally leaders are the ones first to teleport out. If you want to be a top tier team, here's a tip for you. Make sure that your main rally leaders are not the ones doing the rallying early on. You want your second row to be the main rally leaders, or even the third and final row as all of these guys port in. And you want the first row to be the folks who teleport last. Why is that? Because if you stick someone who needs to teleport last back here, he or she are going to have to march all of this on top of marching back home. So the way you should be setting up your teleports in your team is having the top row, the folks who are going to teleport last. They're also the people who will be launching the early rallies, the early movement rallies, the cav rallies, the march moving rallies, and all that. And once that's done, you save them a huge amount of time by keeping them at the front row. These are micromanagement things that you're going to have to keep your eye on if you want to be at that top tier. And we'll see as Verification loves to smash us 12 seconds before the match begins. So we will really quickly tell Lilith to F off. And here we go, 5 seconds, and the gates of hell are about to open up. And let's watch the troops pour from the side of SNO. There goes Nameless God. Valifar and Zev instantly with the fast marches. They got to go pick up the first buildings as quickly as possible. And here come the rest of the marches about to pour in. We already got simplified just like that. And what a shame. Look at the difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rallies out from 374 compared to the 3 on the red team. They are looking to move forward, and they're looking to move forward quick as one unit. While that is going down, these folks are marching out to the field as quickly as they can. Let's go take a look at the blue side as they are about to pour out as well. Ladies and gentlemen, it is about to start. Look at all these beautiful marches pouring out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We like that. First occupations are very crucial, and the quicker you occupy these buildings, the quicker you're going to start getting points. And look at this person right here, 374B. Oh, look at that. Bam. First occupation right there. Bam. Next occupation from the blue team right there. 1-1 on the outpost game, and there comes the blue team. First outpost advantage goes to them. So far, so good. What's going on with the obelisks? Let's take a peek at the bottom obelisk. Still nothing in here. Top obelisk is about to be taken by Zev. Looking at the bottom obelisk for the blue team, it's still almost there, and the top one is the longer one to march into. That's right, Mr. Limeton. In the comments down below, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think. Who's going to win this match? First obelisk in favor of the red team. That's first teleports quicker for SNO, so that's a good beginning. And we're looking at the counterpart on the blue team as they are almost there. 5 seconds to go, and this little bit of an advantage is not crazy. Of course, any advantage is good. You got to be able to make sure to make it so that you gain any advantage you can. And so look at this. The advantage flipped for the blue team on the second obelisk. Nameless got a little bit late, and now we're even out in the points per minute game and in the buildings, ladies and gentlemen. The next move on this map should be a forward-facing position onto the desert and sky altars. You're seeing right here the folks A-Pink from 374 with fast marches. Look at these fast marches. They're on their way to try to catch an obelisk away from the red team. We've seen this play being done quite a bit lately. These are probably T1s trying to beat the rally coming into the obelisk. But here's the deal. SNO's rally is here. It has 28 seconds until it arrives. What's going on with this march? Let's go take a quick peek. Where is it? 28 seconds until it arrives, and 18 for A-Pink, but he's aiming at this. So can he get to the obelisk before the rally? If he can get to the obelisk before the rally, that's a little yoink for a few moments. We gotta keep an eye on this obelisk, as this situation might actually be good. 8 seconds in here, 4 seconds in there, not enough time for A-Pink to make it into the obelisk. And this rally right here should be able to defend the obelisk very successfully. And most of people go in. Nameless God gets out, and now this A-Pink March, well, it's not going to do too much, unfortunately. YSS on the helm, and just like that, this defense is very well coordinated. While all that is going down, red team are starting to posture forward. There's a rally right here that's about to break somewhere in a more defensive position, I'm assuming. Looking around, there is defense set up and ready to rock and roll by the Shrine of War already. The Sky Altar is still being marched towards, but this one is a little bit longer worth of a march. If you go take a look at the map on the other side, the Shrine of Life, nothing here just yet. Sky Altar, Blue Sky Altar, nothing. Red Sky Altar, nothing here yet. Folks are just arriving. Shrine of War of the red team has a little bit of presence and more presence on its way. We are going to keep our eyes peeled on the Desert Altar here at the bottom and the Desert Altar at the top. That's usually where you see the most confrontations. SNO are not about to let that happen. They postured forward. They broke their rally early. And now they're actually aiming at the Desert Altar, at the Sky Altar. Teleports being summoned for the blue team, and none of them being used just yet. That's because the obelisk has not been occupied yet. So they prematurely get that rally out. Oh my goodness gracious. 29 against 30, ladies and gentlemen. SNO missing a player. Oh boy, this could be very, very problematic for the folks of SNO. They need all their folks. They are 5 marches down. 5 marches down, ladies and gentlemen. That's a huge problem. Hopefully they can get their 30th player to connect, or any backup out of the 15 backups. Someone, hello, 5 marches, please. Anyway, with that being said, aggression towards the Sky Altar by SNO. Are 374 doing the same thing? They are not. Teleports are coming in for the red team. Teleports are being used by the red team. Now teleports available for the blue team, but no one's teleporting just yet. 15 teleports available for the blue team. 1 for the folks in red. They have teleported their people, but 374 are taking their time with the teleports. Only 2 teleports used so far, 3 to go, and this is a problem. This is a massive problem for the folks in blue. They are going to miss out on marches on the field. At this point, the buildings open up for occupation, and there it is. Snow pick up the Sky Altar very early on. The bottom Sky Altar that's supposed to be blue is now red. The question is, how long can the red team hold onto this Sky Altar? Lots of blue presence here ready to swarm this building down. Where is the Attila Takeda to hold onto this building and cause a lot of damage? There's one right there. You need to be in the building, homie. You need to be protecting this building. You should be captaining it so everybody gets smashed by trying to beat you up. But instead, YSS on the field as well. Get in here, change those captains. Let's go SNO. They are doing what they need to do. There is the YSS, but only half a building left. These folks are going to need to get themselves in and refilling this building consistently. 40 seconds worth of holding the Sky Altar away from 374. What a big blunder early on. Can Snow hold onto it? Ladies and gentlemen, it is starting. At this point, the teams have all the buildings they need with the exception of 374 missing their Sky Altar. SNO should not be allowing this building to fall that quickly. They have plenty of folks here that can keep refilling the building, but they do let it go down. And so that cost about a minute worth of occupation. 374 managed to hold on to their building back for a little bit. There's still swarms in here. There's still danger in here. A lot of folks are marching backwards away from this defense, and there's still swarms in here. There's a good defense, Charles Martel Theodora on that building right there, but still, if you snooze, you might end up losing. The same thing just happened for that initial occupation of that building. Red team defending their buildings very successfully. 3 rallies mobilizing for the folks in red and 2 for the folks in blue. Is this a rally on an outpost? It is a rally on an outpost. There's a rally on an outpost by 374 trying to take away an outpost early on from SNO. It looks like this rally is not going to be successful. This is very, very new to the meta. Folks have been doing this very consistently lately, trying to take outposts away early on just to maintain themselves a little bit of a gap. Where are the SNO backups? One of you says, and I agree, 29 players. What is going on, SNO? You guys have a slight advantage, but that advantage is going to go away very quickly. Although, with that being said, 3 teleports available for the blue team, 4 teleports available for the red team, and red team is aggressing hard. There's a rally on this Theodora in the desert altar. There's an open field presence by Jeb and Valafar, and so this is problematic. A rally is getting swarmed, which is good. That's the first thing you got to do. You got to clean out that rally, keep it very low so it does very minimal damage for you, and from there you can go clean up the swarm too, because the rally is going to make massive progress on destroying your building. What you're not seeing, but I'm seeing on the other screen, is that 4 minutes before the Ark, 374 have a massive presence in the middle already, which is really weird. They're looking to push all the way to the bottom. They're looking to hold onto the middle corridor and maintain themselves at a good presence. Now, if you ask me, the way you should be holding this corridor, if you're looking to push out, is you do not want to sit in a cloud in one area. What you want to do is you want to spread out from the bottom all the way to the top. That way, when the other team decides to just push through, all the marches that are waiting throughout the way come down at you rather than try to follow you back. So if everybody here sits on this little area right there, what'll happen is SNO will most likely stop somewhere in here, and then they'll just push towards the Temple of Osiris. So spreading kind of like they're doing here, leaving a little bit by the temple, a little bit here, and a little bit further down is the way to go. Look at the top! 374 took away an obelisk from SNO. Trouble. This slows down the teleports for SNO. This throws off the teleport timings for SNO. Big play right here. The points per minute are very insignificant at this stage for this building, but the fact that they're holding onto it for a minute now means all the teleports, every single teleport that's going to come in for SNO from here on out is going to be at least a minute late. So all their timings of teleports are all going to be late, which means all the times of marches coming home so that they can teleport, it is gone, essentially. And so this can be problematic for SNO. They're swarming the heck out of this Hotel Takeda. They'll most likely get their building, but with a minute and 40 seconds, oh boy, 374 is striking good and striking early. Rhea in here knows that this rally is more than done, leaving it for it to live in there peacefully for a little bit longer. Obelisk taken back by SNO. That's a great play by them. They needed it back. Unfortunately, losing that building is very crucial for them. And they are losing the points per minute game now by about 20 points, which is that obelisk. All the buildings are secured now. And we're back to the oh my goodness gracious. We're back to the 590, 590, 570 as all the buildings are here. Apologies for the stupid dongle that keeps occasionally disconnecting. Oh my goodness. Let's go look at the middle. 2 minutes remaining. 374, very big cloud in here. SNO, they know what they need to do. They need to get to the temple. They don't need to fight in here. So they're dividing to the sides, and they're just going to push from the side, kind of like this guy's doing right there. And they're going to make it to the temple. And all of this cloud is going to be very insignificant if they can get to the temple. And as we mentioned, because they are all bunched up in one area, it is very easy for SNO to divide and conquer. If you keep an eye on, you'll see the same player, 5 marches, and the pods are being generated. These are the pods that I've been talking about many a times on the stream. Take a look at how many marches are now targeting this A-Pink Ethelfled. That's the target that Vasily has as his swarm target. It looks like SNO have a couple of other swarm targets. There goes the skill, defense skill right there for the folks in 374. A minute and 20 remaining in the middle fight. While that's going down, we're going to take a quick peek at what's going on in the Sky Altar. Sky Altar seems to be secured by 374, who are now pushing down. Are they going to go for the Shrine of Life? No, they're trying to just defend their Sky Altar properly. And from there, everything changes. The Ark is about to come in a minute, and the middle fights are going to be what determines this match. And it's going to determine this match big time, as the folks in red have a slight lead of about 200 points. We'll call it 200 points, and that's about that. And the 200 points are very insignificant at this stage, less than 200 points, because so much more is about to happen in this match that it's a good thing that they started off with it. But with a 20 points per minute lead gone, essentially now they're 20 points per minute behind, in about 10 minutes, that lead is going away. If you guys enjoy the shoutcast, don't forget to drop a like on the stream and let your alliance mates, discords, everybody know. Click the share button, send the link out. Let's get everybody in here so we can get an awesome audience. And of course, I'm keeping my eye on the chat for y'all to make sure we have some questions being answered. We also have a very slight in-game sound playing in the background. Let me know if that sound is okay. It's too loud, it's too low. all is good. Just let me know if that's the case, and we'll make sure to fix everything up so you guys get the best viewing experience possible. As the Ark has popped, it is in neutral ground. Nobody has picked it up just yet. We'll see who drops the Ark first. Who picks up the Ark first? We'll take a look at that momentarily as that goes down. And where is the Ark? Who picks it up? Hello? Why you fight in middle, not take Ark? Ark goes in favor of 374. 374 drop the Ark on their side, and they're starting to walk backwards. Look at the red frowny faces. Look at the folks in blue just completely dominating this middle right now. There's a lot of presence still here by SNO, but they are gonna need to figure out how they're defending their obelisk, which is being taken again and again by Rhea by a pest march. They're not going to get their teleports. These guys are just going to lose on teleports because they don't have any defense on that obelisk left whatsoever. And while fights are happening in the Ark and they're losing the Ark, they're also losing that obelisk. And every time they lose it, that's again another time that they're going to have to wait 5 minutes for one more teleport. Usually in an Ark game, if everything works out the way it should, in the 30th minute, you have all 30 teleports available, so long as you used, of course, oh my goodness, look at the cleanup. Look at the cleanup, and there goes the red team in the middle. Whoo-wee. But response, and good response by the folks in red, taking the desert altar on the top. That's how they need to do it. 2 minutes, they've done this already a minute ago. They have the desert altar. Great response to losing the Ark. They now have the points per minute lead by 130 points. And they're working on more. They're going towards this Shrine of Life in an attempt to also pick up this Shrine of Life away from the blue team. That's the kind of response they need to have after losing the middle. But the blue team is also doing the same thing with a Shrine of Life siege, which is about to take the red Shrine of Life away from them. And that will drop the points per minute lead drastically to about 50 points per minute. This Shrine of Life is all but done with this crazy swarm and not enough reinforcements around to do the job. Plenty of marches on the field, but they cannot join the building, and there goes that building. In the meantime, Shrine of War of the blue team is getting sieged on as well. At this stage, that Shrine of War is only a points per minute building. It's okay to lose it if you can pick it up back in time in order to be able to fight again. 5% attack and defense boosts from this building, so if you lose it, that's 10% attack and defense the other team has. So far, the situation is looking okay for both teams. There's a slight lead for the red team still, but the blue team are about to get this Ark. This Ark is definitely not standing here. The Ark is already marching backwards. It's going to be an Ark for the blue team, so that's 3,000 points early on. But the response of the red team is the correct response. They are holding on to the desert altar for dear life, and they have taken away 450 points worth of gains from the blue team from their own desert altar. With this Artemisia hold, even though there's a crazy swarm, there's a very, very, very small chance they'll even manage to get this building to tick for points for them for a second, maybe. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. But 2 minutes and 40 seconds worth of time, the building belonged to the red team. That is the big point maker for the blue team. And they're about to lose their Sky Altar too. If they lose the Sky Altar, now it's becoming a little bit problematic for the folks in blue because they're going to get the Ark, but they're now 170 points behind, and they are still waiting for more of their own buildings. They have taken the Shrine of Life successfully, but that's only 80 points compared to the 150 SNO took right here. SNO doing exactly what they need to do. They're responding to a bad middle situation. They recognize that 374 has beaten them in the middle, and they just went towards the buildings. They recognize 374 have a bigger presence in the middle currently, and it allowed them to go yoink some buildings away from 374. Take a look at the map right here. You'll see pretty much the desert altar, the sky altar are not ticking for points for the blue team, while they are for the red team. And the Shrine of Life, unfortunately, is not ticking for points for either team, unfortunately, for the red team. But they are still taking their buildings up in terms of their own Shrine of Life. They did manage to yoink away an outpost, and now that yoink was taken away, and now it's, again, well, if you're not going to leave someone in there, the same dude that just took it and left the building is going to retake it. That's how it works. These guys have such a huge presence trying to take outposts away. Outposts have become very big in the meta, and if you don't pay attention to your outposts, you don't have a proper defense on them, you might have a big problem. Those are 90 points per minute, which the blue team is reacting decently well to losing both their altars. Red team right now needs to hold on to this altar for as long as humanly possible. They cannot allow this altar to fall. I would not be swarming the swarm. In my opinion, allow the building to take care of the swarm and make sure that the troops you have available are troops that can go into the building. Of course, if you're Nameless God and, for example, you are the captain of the Sky Altar, we can take a quick peek at who that is very, very quickly. Nameless God, as I thought, was at least the person leading the charge in here. And so if he is the garrison commander, of course, he's going to be fighting in the open field. But Chabi, for example, could have used those troops in Key, and all of these guys can use these troops to refill the building rather than to fight the swarm. That'll give them extra time owning the building, which is very, very important in Ark of Osiris. The Ark was delivered a minute ago, and this gave the blue team about 2,000 point, 1,906 points worth of a lead, and that is a great relief for 374, who are currently losing the points per minute game quite drastically. It gives them a little bit of a window to gain their buildings back, to stabilize the points per minute game before they have to go back into the middle in 6 minutes. While that is going down, the Shrine of War of the red team is being contested. I don't see a rally around here, so I'm assuming the rally was defeated, and now it's an open field swarm, which can be very easily taken care of by the folks in red who are here already. In the meantime, the blue team is doing what they can with the outposts in the back. Very, very big nuisance. Take a look at this right here, as three marches are trying to take out an outpost, including a Saladin Mulan doing outpost work. That's very interesting. And so blue team take their Sky Altar back. That's what they needed, but they again are losing a lot of points per minute. And although they're only 10 points behind now, that is because they managed to take a few buildings away from the red team. But when this is all said and done, the stabilization of this match is going to go in favor of the red team for a little bit until they go back to 590, and then there's a little bit of breathing room for the blue team. Right now, the blue team cannot allow themselves to lose more points per minute. They need to be doing these kinds of things. They need to be rallying outposts, rallying obelisks. There is a skill being used on the desert altar right here. There is a siege skill right there. Let's take a quick look at it. And if you don't know what it does, well, thank you, Lilith. That's fantastic. We'll try again. Tear down. Increase the attack of Alliance when attacking the specific structure by 80%. So the attack here is nuts on that Attila Takeda. And on the swarm, they need to get this building away from the blue team, who are now getting points per minute out of it. If they take it away, that's 150 points again in their favor. Red team with 10 points per minute worth of a lead in the points per minute game. SNO are leading the points per minute game, but losing the match as of right now. Not a big difference. While that's going on, SNO, 30th player in. Congratulations, you fielded a full team. And I'm not being rude or being mean to them. I honestly hold them to the highest of regards at this point. There's no way a team making it to the semifinals cannot field a 30th player. It absolutely makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. So I love SNO. I think they're amazing, but please don't take it personally. You guys goofed big time. Great time to take a sip of water. If you're enjoying the cast, don't forget to drop a like on it. And guess what? There goes the building. SNO takes the desert altar away from the blue team. That is trouble. The blue team needs to be able to hold on to their buildings a little bit better, or else they'll have a big problem. They also need to make sure that they're sieging in some shape or form. They've completely given up on the desert altar, and they're going instead for the obelisk. This is very, very unusual. Very, very, very unusual. Although there's less of a defense in this obelisk than there is on the desert altar, on the sky altar. So maybe that's why they picked it. But again, what? Okay, anyway. Attila Takeda holding on to the desert altar by Snow. And Snow, look at that. Look at that peer pressure right there. They're about to go up to this Shrine of War. That rally will probably go down, but all of this massive swarm is about to try to take out at least, the Shrine of Life, take away points from the blue team, and they are in the lead by 270 points every single minute. And there goes the building back in favor of the blue team. But for the next 3 minutes, you're going to lose another 450 points, ladies and gentlemen. Red team is trying to get also the blue Shrine of War, but this seems to be a little less successful with a Edward-led rally. Edward-led rallies equals free swarm, and that's what's happening. Swarm away! And yeah, 374 now posturing towards the middle 3 minutes before the arc pops up. 374 already has a massive presence in the middle. Red team needs to attack at this stage. This is not helping them. This is the time when the red team needs to take a bunch of buildings away before they push towards the middle. That's what they're doing with this Shrine of Life. They're going for the for taking the points per minute game and then going for the middle. At this point, the gap has shrunk to 1,100 points. So 1,100 points is very, very, very doable to come back from. SNO can beat 374 in the buildings game, which is the game that gives you points without doing anything. What that means is as long as the building is yours, it's ticking for points. You got to defend it, obviously, but as long as this, for example, is cooling down, like you can see right here, it's points that the blue team is not getting. It's points that the blue team will not get. 450 points right there. So if SNO can stop that growth, and then on top of that, go to the middle after that as quickly as they can. 2 minutes is a little bit close to calling it. There's a little bit of a problem here. If they go for an Ark delay rather than an attempt on getting the Ark, they could do very good in here. I don't know if they have enough in the middle to take the Ark at this stage, but this swarm on this Shrine of Life with very little presence around here. Puggy is in here doing the best she can, but I am telling you right now, she is in that Discord screaming for backup. She knows what's up. And so there she is right there, Puggy. Very, very strong, capable player from 374, ex-JWM2 member, someone I really miss playing with. She was a lot of fun. There goes the Shrine. Oh, wait a second. Reinforcements came in just in time, just in the nick of time. Those reinforcements came in, but not enough. Shrine of Life goes down, and points go down to 360, as now the folks in red have 230 points per minute worth of a lead, and they're looking to take a Sky Altar away from the blue team before they go into the middle as well. This is the kind of response we expect out of Snow. They had a rough middle. They are having a rough middle. We'll go take a look in the middle momentarily, but I can tell you, looking at the other monitor, there's a lot of 374 presence. A lot of 374 presence in the middle. SNO needs to utilize this opportunity to take away points per minute. If they can do that and then they can provision properly, Ark might not be enough. Ark might definitely not be enough. So Sky Altar looks very, very weak right now, and a few of the open field marches here are going down, but this Ark, the rally by Chabi is doing very well. There's 2 more marches with a nice set of Guan Alexanders. Now Jason comes in with a little bit of extra march in here, about to swarm this building down. Jason also coming in with another Archer's March right there, and they are just going to try to take buildings away. In the meantime, though, SNO lose their obelisk once more. They are definitely behind on the teleports, I can tell you that much, and they have 1 teleport available. So what they're doing good, they're insanely compensating for fundamental mistakes with good play on the field. If they could hold on to their obelisks and teleport properly and obviously get 30 people onto the field as quickly as possible, then this match would have been completely different. In the middle go the skills, and that means the fight is starting. There is a massive brawl in here, and this is a sea of blue and a little bit of reds among it, as you can see right there. The folks in red are doing everything they can to just kind of hold on and try to stay around as the Ark pops up way, way, way up here. I mean, 374 are about to pick up this Ark without any contest whatsoever. I don't know what SNO are doing. They're not even going to try to delay this Ark, I guess, because this Ark dropped, and now it's just going to go. There it is. And now it's just going to go. And all of these red marches are so far away from the Ark that there's nothing they can do. Even this guy who's trying to sneak around, and there's folks coming in from the back trying to sneak around and slow this down. There is a speed up right there, speed up skill happening. You can see those lines right there. It means that they are getting, this is a skill, I forget what it's called, that gives you more march speed. The Sky Altar was very well secured by 374. They managed to get there just in time, and the points per minute game made it so that this is only a 800 points game match. But 800 points is about to become 4,300 when this Ark is delivered. For K374, they need to deliver Arks one after the other as quickly as possible. Next Ark, next Ark, next Ark. Why? Because they're doing amazing in the middle. They're getting destroyed. They're destroying the middle. They're absolutely destroying the middle. There's no reason for them to slow down their Arks. If they can get 4 Arks in this match, that would be amazing for them. That would guarantee pretty much their victory, because the folks in blue, in red and SNO are doing a very, very good job in the points per minute game, but they're not able to hold on to their lead for too long. They gain a lead for 3 minutes and then they lose it. They gain a lead for 3 minutes and lose it. And that causes a situation where 374 can allow themselves to lose these buildings but pick up more Arks. So on top of being able to win the points per minute game, you also have to be able to hold on to the buildings so that, you know, you start generating points out of your opposition's buildings. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the cast, don't forget, of course, to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you guys are enjoying this kind of cast, we do these as much as we humanly can. And so here we go. SNO are trying to take the Sky Altar away that at this point is getting massively swarmed, but I don't know if there's enough here to check out this defense. Someone from the defense comes out to do a little bit of field presence while he's going to let another one of his more full marches to get into the building. Look at the position of that march. Did you see it go around the building? If you watched the Ark of Osiris official cast on the Rise of Kingdoms channel, you'd know that there's a specific placement you want to be in to get into the building, or else you might have to get a little bit of a march going around, and that's what ended up happening here. Thankfully, it bought enough time for his teammates to arrive, and now there's a little bit of extra presence here that can refill the Sky Altar, and it seems like the Sky Altar is very well defended. This one march trying to get to the Ark is just not going to do it, and the folks in 374 are about to deliver an Ark. It looks like they're not looking to deliver this Ark instantly, which, if I was them, it would be an insta delivery. The folks of 374 are also very capable, as LIIG are sending us some messages out there. We're in LIIG with this account, and you guys are seeing occasionally the things from the Alliance. With that being said, we have right here a Desert Altar, very, very, very well defended. A Shrine of Life, very, very well defended. Points per minute game is actually in the lead of the blue team by 20 points. Very, very interesting stuff. This is not the first time they've taken the lead, but it's absolutely one of the first times where they have been not only dominating the field, but they also dominate the Ark game, and they've just been dominant in general. This is why, in my personal bets, I have put all my coins on 374 on both accounts. Honestly, these guys play very good fundamental Ark. They know that they can lose a few buildings so long as they can grab them as they grab them very fast. They're willing to make the trade-offs of buildings in exchange for Arks. They know that they can get their buildings back quick enough so that the Ark loses half of its value, but not all of its value. 374 will have a huge problem if they end up going up against OV, though, because OV's middle is very different than 374's, and it's going to be a struggle. But hey, don't count SNO out just yet. They might be down by about, give or take, 4,000 points, 4,600 points. But as long as they maintain that gap into a narrow between 4,000 to 5,000 points, they can very easily come back into this with provisions. We're going to go take a look at provisions momentarily. No open field presence for this poor Jeb rally that's getting massively swarmed. Slight mistake by 374. They're about to chunk this rally down, and they could have left the rally to keep hitting for a little bit longer. This will allow Jeb to instantly launch rallies quicker. So this is a slight micromanagement mistake, but it's not the biggest of deals. Oh boy, Sky Altar is in big, big trouble. There's a very, very full rally in here. Very low building in here left. By the way, if this fight has been going on for a little bit, that could be a full building, but it's in red. So let's zoom in a little bit and take a look at this fight right here, as there is a massive swarm coming in against this Sky Altar. Trouble for 374. They are on their way here to try to defend and help out as much as they can, but this rally is going to do damage. There is also a nice little skill damage commander right there from Jason with a Tamaris that's doing some debuffs right there. We have Jason doing a little bit of silencing, unless there's a Theodora in here, and I don't think, yes there is, so never mind, there's a Theodora. You are less significant. And El Cid right there. We have an Alex with a little bit of buffs and debuffs along the way. This Sky Altar will most likely fall. It's going to be very, 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 very tough for 374 to hold on to it. If they do, I'll be very impressed, because it is a really tough hold in this kind of a situation with a rally fairly full, with a swarm right there. It's just very hard to get coordinated on bringing your marches in, swapping marches and things like that. This Sky Altar is being held by the skin of its teeth. Oh my goodness gracious. Now 374 are much more present in here. The folks of SNO really need their swarm to get the work done. If they cannot get this building with all this investment, it could be trouble. It could be the beginning of seeing slowly SNO not being able to take buildings away from 374. Early on, SNO were able to take buildings from 374 in a very, very meaningful way. It was very easy for them to do it, and now 374 have stepped up their defense a little bit. But as I say that, Constantine comes in as the primary commander, meaning that the previous commander that was garrisoning got sent out, and so trouble in here. There's still potential for this building to swing in the favor of SNO, and while SNO are trying to take the Sky Altar away, there is also a siege on this Desert Altar up on the top that also got a skill procced onto it. 80% more damage for SNO in here. This is trouble for 374, who are now going to have to bring in a lot of open field marches and get rid of this really quickly, or else there is trouble as the match continues, ladies and gentlemen. About, what, 4,500 lead, give or take, for the folks in blue, and Ark is popping in 4 minutes and 43 seconds. Nobody in the middle just yet, but the blue team, oh, never mind, someone got here. But the blue team is posturing. Daniel's already here, and there's a few other. There's a Bad Angel trying to suicide his march, and he's going to try to do it on these archers while he's at it, because that's not a bad idea at all. And this archer player knows that he needs to dip. He needs to make Bad Angel take as long as it takes for him to reset his troops. This person right here should not be hitting Bad Angel. There you go. That's the play right there. This is what I'm talking about. Fundamental Ark. They know that Bad Angel is completely out of commission. This march cannot do absolutely anything. And so at this stage, you're going to try to delay the inevitable that this march needs to make it home somehow. That's what I'm talking about. He's running away. He's not going to let this march get itself reset. That's the point. That's what you want to be doing. With that being said, let's go look at the rest of the map and see what is going on. Buildings are blinking everywhere. Let's go take a look at the Shrine of War, the blue Shrine of War. It is blinking, and the rally is very unsuccessful right now. An interesting Edward Artemisia rally. I haven't seen one of those in a little bit, and it's not too successful. Frost Queen is coming in to try to help out the situation in the Shrine of War, but this rally is very unsuccessful. 374 don't even care. They're just marching forward towards the middle. While that is going on, we're looking at the Desert Altar. It's still blinking. It has a skill procced onto it. The rally is doing very good. The open field presence here by 374 has dwindled, but so has SNOs. However, there's an 80% skill on the screen on this building right there. You can see it right here. Hello, building, please. There you go. Of course, Lilith. Of course, you guys are very good with that. Hello, there it is. So 80% more attack. There is attacks all over the place. This Desert Altar is probably going to go down. More than likely going to go down. But I said the same about the Sky Altar, and it's still held. So I might not know anything at all. I might just think that I know, and hey, maybe I don't. But the open field presence from SNO keeps coming in, and the Swarm keeps getting stronger. And the defense around here is not growing as quickly as it should. There are 2 marches coming in here to try to potentially save the world. But with this open field swarm and the 80% more damage, there goes the extra reinforcement into the building. And there goes one more. And there comes another one on top of all of that. So, yeah, what can be said? At this stage, we are in a pickle because this building is about to come down. This building's about to come down big time. And, yeah. Let's take a look at all the other buildings before the middle opens up, and we're not seeing anything. We're not seeing anything. Middle, a lot of blue presence. Is the Desert Altar going to fall? It'll most likely fall. There is still reinforcements coming in. I cannot believe 374 keep getting their reinforcements in just a little bit longer. They're delaying it and delaying it and delaying it. That's what they need to be doing. The more this building holds, the more points they're going to make out of it before it turns red. And it looks like it's about to turn red in a few moments, and there it goes. But all that time, dragging that time, is points that the blue team made. The blue team made points every single moment. And with that being said, let's go look at the rest of the buildings really quickly. 1.5 minutes remaining for the middle. There's a massive siege by the red team on the Sky Altar as well. Sky Altar is more defended than the Desert Altar at this stage in time. There's a few extra marches waiting on standby to refill the building in case they need, but they might need it, and they might need it quick. Go Chabi's rally is doing massive damage, and the open field swarm is not being any helpful. There is a to the death being procced in the middle by SNO. They're looking to try to take that middle. They're coming in with a big push. There's a big push right there with a lot of, with the exception of Edward, with a lot of skills. 374 recognizing that are backing off a little bit. They're going to give it space. They're going to drain down the skill that was procced by the folks of SNO. They're draining down the skill right now. That's what they're doing. They, instead of fighting in the front, which they did previously, they recognize there's skill advantage for SNO, and they know that if they drag it like they have been a little bit longer, then they're going to do this now. And now it's an even out situation. The problem here is that SNO started their skill first, and about 10 to 15 seconds of it went away trying to chase 374. 374 waited for the last second. They had to proc the skill, and then they skilled the one time, and there's the double skill right there. Both mystic formation, both to the death, and now we have war drums to 374 waited till the last second. They are going to have a small advantage over SNO in the sense that there was 5 to 10 seconds where SNO had to march toward 374 and gained very little out of it, while the folks in 374, once the battle began, that's when they procced the skill, and that's when they did what they did. And so at this stage, we are looking at a middle that is full of red and blue, though. A lot of red frownies going home, and I don't see that many blues being frownied home. The Ark is already in the hands of the blue team, and they are marching it backwards. A-Pink has the Ark in his hands. In the meantime, Sky Altar did fall to 350 points per minute worth of a lead for the folks on SNO, but they are down by 4,500 points. And they're about to be down by another 4,000 points, 8,500 points worth of a deficit with 20 minutes remaining. This is still doable, absolutely doable for SNO. They need to maintain that point advantage. There is 374's desire, aka the gathering skill being procced. It means the 374 recognize it now. They need to make sure they're also provisioning properly. If they provision properly, win the arcs, and lose the buildings game by a little bit, they can win this match. In the meantime, Obelisk taken away by SNO. Not the worst thing now that everybody has teleported in both teams, essentially. You can see 4 teleports available for the one team, 5 teleports available for the other team. Oh boy. Let me take a quick peek as I'm getting massive calls for work. They're going to have to wait for later, ladies and gentlemen, as we progress onto this match. Desert Altar about to get sieged. The Sky Altar went back in the hands of the team in blue, but the points per minute are still ticking, and now they're down by almost 400 points, 370 points per minute in the lead for the folks in red, and they must maintain this lead. If they want to win this game, they must maintain this lead. The game is down to about 4,000 points. It'll be up to 8,000 points. And then if they can maintain this lead, they can bring it down to like 3,000 to 4,000 points, and from there, provisioning will take care of it. But the problem is, SNO are capable of taking buildings away from 374, but are not capable of holding them. They keep losing them after a moment or two, or even a couple of minutes. And so they need to figure out now how they can hold onto the buildings, or at least not allow 374 to regain control of them as quickly as they should. Remind you, SNO last time around provisioned 11,000 points against JWM, so we got to keep an eye on that. As I'm about to sneeze, please let me sneeze already. Okay, coming back into this, 374's Ark is pretty much at the outpost. It's almost there. There's one more march that you need to get rid of from SNO, 2 marches, and then it is clear into the outpost. If you are 374, you're instantly delivering this Ark. You're instantly delivering this Ark and making sure there's one more Ark for you to play with, because one more Ark will be more than likely belonging to the blue team. And if they can take the Ark, lose all their buildings, but take the last final Ark, which is about to come up in 8 minutes and 15 seconds, which means there'll be about 9 minutes worth of fighting for that Ark. This is pretty much what the best case scenario for 374. They're able to regain control of their buildings. They're able to hold on to some of their buildings. Not all of them, but some of them. They're able to put aggression back in the back, like you can see right here. Outposts being taken away and always being a nuisance in the points per minute game of the red team. You can see they're still missing 1 outpost, 30 points per minute. So that's exactly how the folks in blue and 374 are doing their thing. Now look at this massive siege coming in with this rally onto the Shrine of War. And this is big trouble for SNO. SNO cannot lose buildings. They can afford to lose buildings that belong to the blue team once they take them, but they cannot afford it to lose their own buildings. Buildings ticking for points is what makes SNO live in this match. They pop the defense buff on that building right there on the Shrine of War. While that's going down, the Desert Altar, SNO and the Desert Altar is being sieged, but it looks like the siege is not going to be too successful. That Guan Leo is not a terrible choice against what looks like a Zenobia. What is it? Theodora defending this building. Zenobia Theodora in the building with a Guan Alexander. That's not a bad pick at all. Taking a look at the rest of the building, here comes the siege once more by SNO. They're about to take the Sky Altar, or trying to take the Sky Altar away from the team in blue, as the points per minute lead dwindles down to 100 points, and the team in blue takes an outpost away from the red team. Trouble for the red team. While that's going down, we are looking at a 7,000-ish point lead for the team in blue, but red are not going to give it up. They're starting to siege, and they're starting to take buildings away. They know they need the points per minute lead. They must have it. As you can take a quick peek and gander up here, we have terms 374 provisioners all over the place, ladies and gentlemen. There is a little bit of SNO hitting. You got to keep an eye. 374, if this March dies on the caravan, all the points that it's been gathering go away. Can it notice it in time and leave the caravan? We're going to keep an eye on this. I know this is unusual. You will not see this anywhere else, but we catch this opportunity to show you a potential huge mistake. If this gatherer is a full March like I think it is, and it's been gathering all March long, it's been hopping between tiles. If it doesn't notice it's dying, there it is. There it is. It noticed. It waited until the last second. Great play by whatever your name is. He waited until she waited for the very last second until they have to leave this tile. And now they can die off and their points are going to go in the favor of their team. Keep an eye on the blue points, because once that March gets killed, it'll come home with all its provisions as well. So that was very dangerous. Thankfully, they were paying attention to that. It absolutely matters, Panda. That fourth arc can be very problematic. 15 minutes remaining. 15 minutes, if you have 100 points per minute worth of a lead in 15 minutes, you're going to make 1,500 points. So you're going to close that gap. That fourth arc, all you got to do is hope and pray you can hold on to it. 11,000 points worth of provisioning will put the team in red at 36,000. And the team in red right now is nowhere near that. The team in red is at, did we get back? Hello? Why no signal? Shoo. Okay, so the team in red can get themselves up to 36,000 points. At 36,000 points, plus 1,500 worth of a lead in the points per minute game means that they can very, very easily still win this. Absolutely, they can still win this. There is nothing here stopping them from potentially winning this match. And so, even with a fourth arc, 374 are not out of the woodworks. They must get themselves more provisioning as we get back into the action in here. The Shrine of Life was saved by 374. They take their Shrine of Life back. It was taken by the red team, and now it was taken back to the blue side. Sky Altar at the bottom seems to be very well secured, although, again, it fell, and now it's being occupied once more. This put, again, the team in red by about 190 points per minute worth of a lead, but look at their outposts. Their outposts are about to tick for points for the blue team, which is really problematic. That's 60 extra points for free for the blue team out of the red side. This, oh boy, 7,000 point gap right here can be closed very, very easily with, again, 4,000 points worth of an arc. That would be, or 45, that would be 11,500. And then provisioning, hope and pray for the points per minute to grow a little bit more. And that's all you can really do. That is a fantastic play right there for the folks in 374. They actually procced a skill, an offensive skill on their defensive building. What that means is that the Alliance, the folks in the building, are going to make stupid amounts more damage. Nobody's ever really used this in a defensive manner. You can actually use that skill on your own building, and that'll increase the attack of the defense in the building. You don't need to increase only the defense of the building. You can also increase the attack of the building. And that could be very significant to hold on against a swarm and against a rally coming up. SNO are swarming before the rally arrives, and so they want the rally not to be the first target. They want their swarm to get taken down first and then the rally to come in. Trouble, this building is going down quick. It is going down very, very fast, and Lord have mercy on this skill that was procced and might not even work at this stage, as Attila and Takeda are doing massive amounts of damage to this Theodora YSS defense. The swarm is doing amazing work right there. 374 need to hold on to their building. If they're going to lose it, that's 150 points per minute down. That's almost half of their points per minute away from them. 374 need to hold on to this building. There are 2.5 minutes remaining until the middle fight really begins. 374 are already posturing in here. They're ready to rock and roll, but they're about to lose their Desert Altar. With 150 points per minute every single minute on this building, they really need to defend it. They've added more reinforcements. Thank God for 374, because they were almost losing this building. That offensive skill on a defensive situation could have ended really badly if they lost the building. It would have been a waste of a skill, essentially. But by the looks of it, the swarm came in just in time, got rid of the open field swarm by SNO, and now the rally's taking a big beating. All they need now is for the swarm to take out the rally a little bit more, refill that building, and let Jeb keep hitting this Desert Altar for a little bit. The points per minute game is... Did SNO proc the teardown? I thought it was 374 that procced the teardown. I was pretty sure SNO 374 procced the teardown. Well, we'll go look at the VOD and see. I was pretty sure there was 374. I looked at the thing. But if it was SNO, even worse, because that definitely didn't work. That definitely didn't work. And now their rally is down, and on top of that, their Sky Altar is now getting sieged on. Well, just a rally, nothing very serious, just to keep them honest, not to go too much to the middle. Sky Altar being aggressed on again. This rally is not too successful, and the Swarm without a rally is going to have a very hard time. We'll see what happens in the skill. Skills being procced in the middle means it's time to go to war, baby. It was, you can't use offensive strike. Okay, I didn't know that, gadgets. Maybe that's why people don't use it. It makes sense. Apologies, don't kill me. People make mistakes. I am not perfect. I thought I saw 374 doing it. My bad. Lord have mercy. Okay, SNO procced war drums right there. Yes, that I am right about. And there it goes, and a lot of skills going down. 374 now smashing in the middle with SNO. This game went down to less than 4,500 points at this point. SNO is starting to bring some provisioners back home. And so look at the difference going down drastically. We're now looking at less than a 3,500 point worth of a lead. It was SNO, I guess. 3,400 points worth of a lead really quickly, just like that. And now SNO need to do something. They need to slow down this arc. SNO still have the option to potentially slow down this arc from being delivered. That is one thing. That is one thing that needs to be addressed. They could theoretically slow down this arc, but they're not even able to get past the first wall. And even if they do, there's a second wall waiting by the temple. The Ark of Osiris pops, and SNO are already not picking it up. The folks of blue team are picking it up in 374, and they're about to get that down. And so here it is. 374 are controlling the arc, and now they're bailing with it. If 374 get it as easy as they got the first couple of our 3 arcs, it's going to be very, very bad. Insatiable desire by 374. They know they need to get their gathering going really quickly because that point lead went down drastically, but they do have a point per minute lead of 30 points. And so with less than 3,000 points worth of a lead for the folks in blue, they're now looking at another 4,500 points worth of an arc, so 7,500 points total. And now, is there enough gas in the tank for the team in red? They need to take away points per minute from the blue team, and they need to do it now. If they're not able to do it, it will be very problematic, as the open field is trying to get rid of this Saladin right here. And honestly, you could have left him at half health and gone for the building. They're waiting for the rally, but they might not have time to wait. There's a skill procced in here, and they're not utilizing this skill. It's about to go down. They could have gone a little bit onto the building. I don't know if swarming a building is a fantastic idea, but I mean, you're about to lose this skill out of the way. Here comes another march to join this defense right here. The rally should be marching soon. There it is right there by Jeb. Can they take a Desert Altar away? We're not looking at the arc because the arc is going to the blue team. There hasn't been a single contest by the red team for arcs, and it's a problem. Losing all arcs is not a problem, but allowing 4 arcs, that's a problem. They allowed 4 arcs to happen. And so you don't need to win the arcs, but the least you need to be doing is slowing down the arcs to 3 a game or even 2 a game. When you allow 4 of them, this is a team that understands they dominate the middle. They should not be holding onto the arc. And here we go. We're back onto it. The points per minute game is even. Everybody owns their own buildings. And there comes SNO with a massive siege on this Desert Altar. But now the middle team of 374 are on their way to defend this building. So that was a little bit of a missed time by SNO, because there's going to be massive forces around here momentarily to protect this building. Can they take it down quick enough? It's going to be rough. It's going to be really rough. First, you got to take care of Jeb's rally, and then you go take care of that swarm while you keep refilling that building, as they're already doing. SNO, slowly and steadily, they drop down the lead of 374 quite drastically, but not enough at all. And here is the Shrine of Life, probably maybe about to go down for 374. There is a refill happening right there, and it happened just in time. Puggy is still out here calling out the more reinforcements. Get in the building, damn it. I know. They're doing everything they can to hold on to their Shrine of Life. 80 points per minute right there. While that's going down, the Desert Altar just looks blue. All these red marches frowning home, and now there's only a rally remaining to attempt to do something in here. It looks like early on, SNO had a great building strategy, and they were outplaying 374. But as SNO continually kept playing the match, they got outnumbered and outclassed in the middle, and then they couldn't just keep getting buildings like they did previously. And now 374 are very, very, very free to be doing these kinds of things. They're marching down towards the Sky Altar. Look at the masses of red marches in here, trying to take a Sky Altar away from the blue team, but they are on their way here, and they're on their way fast. The defenders need to delay this siege. They need to stop the bleeding. They need to refill the building with their marches as much as they can to allow this beautiful march of blue marches make its way to the building to secure it. It is 5 minutes before the end of the match. The Ark has been secured. No more Arks. 590, 590. And we're looking at around, give or take, 8,000 points? 7,800 points worth of a lead for the team in red. Remind you, 2 insatiable desires by the team in blue were procced. And on top of that, the blue team has been provisioning as much as the red team has. Oh, I don't know if as much, but have been provisioning. So to say, okay, well now SNO are going to bring 11,000 points and win this is not necessarily true, because the blue team have also been provisioning quite decently. We don't know who's provisioning what, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you keep your eyes on the screen, on the top area of the screen. That's where the action is really going to be as you take a look at the points per minute lead, which is currently equal. You take a look at the points overall. When provisioners come in, those points go up, up, and away. And so we want to make sure we keep an eye on the score more than anything else. Buildings blinking right now is problematic. If a building goes down right now, there won't be enough time to reoccupy it, which means if the red team take away a building right here, that's 150 points per minute for the rest of the match. The blue team will just simply not have. And that is a problem because the blue team is taking outposts. That's 30 points per minute for the next 5 minutes. Gone. 120 points potential for the red team out the window. And now SNO need to get these big point buildings, but they're also in trouble with their own big point buildings as, oh boy, let's take a quick peek. We have here the Shrine of War also being aggressed on. The red Shrine of War, the blue Sky Altar is the trouble. It's about to go down. It got a little bit of a refill, but there's a lot of presence around here. There's a lot of a swarm. There's a lot of blue marches. They need to hold on to the building. They need to get in the building. Forget about the swarm. First and foremost, get in the building. Make sure you're securing it. If the building goes down, there's nothing else that can be done to regain it. There's just not enough time to regain it. That's points out the window, and it looks like the folks in red are starting to bring in their provisioners. We're down to about, well, as I say that, it even back up to, 9,000 points worth of a lead? 9,000 points worth of a lead for the folks in blue, and 560 in the points per minute game. I cannot believe the Sky Altar is still holding. Look at all the blue marches getting frownied home. There is such a huge presence by the red team in here. Can they take this building away? For now, 374, also, all they need to do is hold the building for as long as possible. They just need to hold on to the building for the next 3 minutes. Stick your troops in there. Do everything you can just to slow down that. Get that extra points per minute. They're now down only to like 30 points per minute worth of a loss. That's not terrible. Down to less than 9,000 points worth of a change. Valiant stand going on into the other side, the Sky Altar. We're going to take a peek at that momentarily, and it looks like this Sky Altar, oh my goodness gracious, I cannot believe it's holding. Let's go look at other buildings that are blinking, because we got to take a look at that. Desert Altar being contested as well by SNO. They're sending everything in here. 374 need to hold. They just need to hold. The points per minute game is, there's not enough time for the points per minute game to be that significant. Worst case scenario, if it becomes a 530-0, then the red team is going to secure 1,000 points. But we're looking at about 9,000 points worth of a lead. So let's keep an eye on the folks in red as their provisioners, and blue as their provisioners start coming in. In the meantime, LIIG gave a Duke to someone. So shout out to the folks of LIIG. I forgot to leave the alliance before the cast. And so we get to see all these different things pop on the screen. Let's go look. SNO, they are looking to defend their Sky Altar for dear life. The lights are starting to turn off, ladies and gentlemen. The lights are starting to turn off as we are down to the last minute and 45 seconds. Plenty of time still remaining for a lot of provisioners to come in. There's less than 10,000 points between the two teams, and we know one of these teams has scored 11,000 points in their last match. So I'm not calling it by any means of the imagination. Last time I did that in the last 10 seconds, things just went shoof, and the other team won by a miracle. And that was against my boys in squad. And so let's keep our eye on the Ark, on the points per minute, on everything. The blue team is taking away buildings from the red team. The points per minute are being dwindled. 60 points per minute more for the blue team as provisioners need to start coming in. SNO need to figure out how they're bringing their provisioners back, how much provisioning they can get done. In the meantime, SNO using teardown on the desert altar, meaning that desert altar might still go down. There's a minute remaining. At this point, it's only 150 points. The blue team already did what they need to do. I cannot believe they held onto their sky altar. That was a miracle. That was a great play by them. And by the looks of it, 10,500 points lead for the team in blue, who have also been provisioning. 44 seconds remaining. Let's keep an eye on the score, as it seems like 374 are going to be the second team to make it to the finals. They're going to go up against OV potentially in the final match. And shout out to my friends from JWM too. I'm really happy to see that. Puggy and A-Pink and a few others who changed their names that I don't recognize. But there's a bunch of them out there. And that's awesome. That's really awesome to see the ex-teammates actually make it out to the finals. And that's sick. That's really sick. But don't call it out just yet. Well, maybe. We'll see. And it is more than likely over. Bam! 374 are our second finalists for the Realm of Horus, ladies and gentlemen. 374, there's A-Pink right there. Speaking of him, and there it is. Bam, our MVP. Let's go take a look at the scoreboard really quickly, and it'll tell you the whole story. 13,000 to the 13,000 provisions. I cannot believe what I'm witnessing. 13,000 to the 13,000 provisions. This is 374 reading their opponents like a book. They knew that the SNO were hard on provisioning, and they knew they had to do the same. They knew that if they can take the middle and they can take the provisions, there's nothing SNO can do about it, and they did. Look at the heals for SNO, 8.3 million heals. Great play by them, but the 4 Ark captures and 15,000 points is ridiculously hard to come back from. Let's get those GGs up in the air for both teams for an amazing match. 374 onto the playoffs, coins coming into the bank, and now it's time to take a look at our final destination. The grand final of the Realm of Horus is upon us. 3 p.m. UTC next Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. 374 against OV for the championship. That is right. I believe maybe this is a BO3. I don't really know if this is supposed to be a BO3. So the Realm of Horus final is set. And if we go take a look at the Realm of Anubis, ladies and gentlemen, V363 against their own kingdom's other alliance, P636, going up for the potential championship. So I guess 636 are gonna win this. Either alliance will be taking this. They were the favorites for a very long time throughout the whole season. But massive shout out to SNO for making it to the top 4, and again to Rose for making it to the top 4. And at this point in time, let's go take a quick peek. What am I looking for? You, and that. Now, with all that being said, I don't know. Bad move right there, Dechi. Bad move right there. This is our final, ladies and gentlemen. This is our final, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what else we see out of these teams. 374 are going to have a tough challenge. Honestly, OV are the favorites in this final. And so, with that being said, we're pretty much done with. I am super stoked to be able to cast the final with you guys. Hopefully it'll be on the Rise of Kingdoms official channel, and if it's not there, it'll be anywhere else. So with that being said, it'll be here. I will be ending the stream right now. I gotta go back to work. I took an hour. I took 3 hours off of work for both the casts, and people are looking for me. So I'm going back to work, and we're going to get a video coming out in the next couple of days. We got videos all over throughout the whole week, so make sure before you leave, you drop a like on the stream. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And yeah, we'll see you all in the next stream Wednesday for 5 p.m. UTC, give or take. We usually are up in the air. And I will see you all sooner rather than later. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a good one. Yes, DJ Sim, I have to go back to work.